Is Google Ads eating up all of your budget and you're not getting the results? So your money is being burnt away, but you're just not getting the results. You're not getting enough leads, you're not getting enough inquiries, and you're just wondering what's going on. So in this video, I'm going to uncover some of the hidden secrets within your Google Ads campaign, which could be burning your budget. And these are Google's getting a bit naughty day by day. It's hiding the options which are going to make them more money and not necessarily you more money. So you need to be asking the question that, hey, these things that you have hidden away from me, let me check them and let me see if they have been set up correctly in my Google Ads account. Because if they haven't, that could be the reason why your Google Ads is burning up all of your money and you're not getting the results. Now, I'm going to tell you about 5 different hidden settings within Google Ads. Now, the fifth one is the one that you need to pay more attention to, because that's the one that a lot of people I see neglect, because they keep focusing on the first 4 but they miss out the 5th one. It's the most crucial one. So keep watching and let me talk you through some of the hidden secrets of Google Ads, the options that they choose, so which makes them more money and you less money. So the first one is your display settings. Now, by default, what happens is that Google Ads says if you're going to create a campaign, we're going to turn on your display settings. And what display settings mean is that if you're using a typical search campaign, a normal search campaign where people are going to go to Google and they're going to type something in and you want your website to be listed, well, guess what? Your website will now also be shown on other websites which may not be about your topic. So in other words, somebody could be writing a blog and your website will appear on that blog, which is nothing to do with you. So the quality of that will massively go downhill because you haven't got control over where your ads are being shown. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to fix this. It's a very simple thing to do. So what you do, if you jump into the campaign, so let's say if we got this campaign here, which is called a demo campaign. So I'm using this account just for demonstration purposes. You click on the campaign, and then what you do is you go to campaign settings, and in campaign settings, you select this option here in the networks. You'll see that there's an option called display network, which is this option down here. And by default, Google leaves it turned on. And what you've got to do is make sure you turn it off. And once you've turned it off, you click on the save button. And it's absolutely imperative you do that. If you did want a display campaign, then the way to do it is have it as a separate campaign, but don't mix your display campaign with your search campaign. So that's the first thing that you need to do, which Google normally hides away from a lot of new campaigns when you create a new campaign in Google Ads. The second one is search partners. Now, what search partners are these are other websites which are partnered with Google to say, hey, can we display a search box using your technology on our browser? So then when people are searching for something, they could be on a totally third-party website. They won't have to be on Google. They could be on a different website and they could be conducting searches. Now, the downside about this, so you may get some results from it, but the downside is that they're not on Google, they're on another website. So again, it impacts the quality of the searches that you get. So you could be, if you do analysis, it could be that you're spending a lot of money on these search partners, but you're not getting the returns. So the way to do it is you simply switch search partners off. And the way to do it is as follows. Again, like we did with the previous one, you click on your campaign, which I'm already in now. You click on your campaign settings, you click on networks, and then you go to this option here, which is search network, and by default, Google leaves it on, and you simply turn it off and ignore any warning that Google might present to you, and simply click on save. And that is it. And what you'll find now is that your money is being a lot more controlled because it's not being displayed on other websites, which you've got very little control about. If you're very advanced, you can do some really advanced analytics to work out which search partner website maybe getting you some conversions, but let's leave that for now. So if you're burning your money on Google Ads, your money's being wasted, and you're not getting conversions, turn these two settings off, which I've just discussed now. The third one, which Google hides away, is your location settings. Now, what happens is that by default, you might say, for example, my customers are based in, let's say, London, and I want to target everybody in London, and anyone outside London, I don't want to target them. I don't want my ads to be shown by anyone outside London. And guess what? Google hide this option. Google's default option is to say, hey, if somebody's in London or they have an interest in London, so they don't necessarily need to be in London, they just got interest in London, we will show them your ads. But hey, guess what? You've just told Google that hey, my audiences, my potential customers are in London. So why would you want to show my ads to somebody who's outside London? And Google's got this whole theory about why, but just ignore it and switch that option off. You want to switch your option so that it's not people who are interested in your location, but it's people who are in your location. And this is how you do it. Again, you go inside your campaign and you click on campaign settings, like so. And then you scroll down to locations. So in this case, I've told Google that, hey, I want my ads to be shown in Birmingham and Wolverhampton. And look at this, it's got an option here which is hidden away. It's not expanded, it hides it away because it doesn't want you to click on it because it makes more money. And when you select it, by default, the first option is selected: presence or interest, people in, regularly in, or who've shown an interest in your included locations, and it says recommended. Ignore it. Change the option to this option there now, which is second option, which says presence, people in or regularly in your locations, and then you click on the save button like so. And what will happen is that now your ads are being shown to people who are in your location as opposed to just having an interest in your location. And that is what you'll find out, your money is being a lot more focused towards people who are more likely to buy from you. Because previously, I've told about 3 settings so far. Your ads may be targeted by people who are not interested in your services, but your ads are still being shown to them people. The fourth one, this is quite a recent one. Google is pushing for something called broad match type. And by default, what I've seen in a lot of times, and Google's still experimenting with it, is by default, your campaigns are set to automatically convert all your keywords into broad match. And what that means is there's different types of match types. There's broad match, there's phrase match, and there's exact match. Exact match, you've got a lot of control over it. Broad match, you've got a little bit of control over it. And broad match, it's anything that close variations or synonyms of that keyword. Now, for a new campaign where you've got no data, I highly recommend don't use broad match right away. Get some data in first using exact match and phrase match. I do have another video which goes into match type. So if you want to learn more about that, click on that video. There'll be a link somewhere in the description or up here somewhere. So watch that video. But by default, when you create a campaign, get some data and make sure your broad match is turned off and you're using more of the phrase match and exact match. Broad match should mainly only be used in smart bidding strategies. And again, if you go inside your campaign settings here, what you'll find is that there is an option over here called broad match keyword, and it's currently off, but in some campaigns this is turned on by default now. And again, it's something that Google's experimenting with. So for new campaigns, make sure your broad match is not turned on, so then whatever you use, it's automatically going to use broad match instead, because it's going to drain your money, especially if you're not using a smart bidding strategy. The last one, which is something that people neglect. Hey, and by the way, if you do like this sort of advice, please do hit the subscribe button, do hit the notifications button. So if you want to learn more about, if you're enjoying what I'm saying, if you think it's of value, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, because I do pump out these sorts of videos on a weekly basis to help people just like you get more profitable digital marketing strategies in place, make sure that Google Ads is fully optimized so that your business is making money and not necessarily Google making money all the time. So the last one is one that people neglect. What they do is that they focus too much on Google Ads. And then when people click on the ads, they go to the website, and that's where the conversions are ultimately going to happen from, right? And people neglect that. And what I always say is that what you need to do, you need to look at your website. Ideally, you want to be taken to a good landing page. A landing page, let me show you an example of a landing page. So if I look over here, this is a landing page, right? So it's got a call to action at the top, which is over here, claim your discovery call, and it's for a digital marketing agency, and that's me over there. And it's got no distractions on it. It's got one call to action on it, and it's repeated several times, right? Whereas if you're taking people to a website, then a website typically has multiple options on it. So you've got a lot of distractions going on, right? So I'm not saying that don't take people to a website, only take them to a landing page. But if you are taking them to a website, whichever one, a landing page or website, just make sure the structure of the website is good. So you've got good call to actions, right? So you got what is it that you want people to do? So great call to actions. Make sure that you've got some credibility. Your information is really clear, and what some testimonials, what other people are saying about you, plenty of call to actions. And so you need to make sure that, hey, if we're getting all the right traffic, if the Google campaign is set up correctly and they're coming onto our website, then why are they not converting? And this is what you need to be experimenting with, developing different pages, doing something called A/B testing. So you're testing one page versus another page and seeing how they all perform. So guys, these are just 5 simple steps that you can take to make sure that your Google Ads is not draining your budget. And if it is, check these 5 things out, or ask your marketing team that, hey, can you check these things out for me, right? And give me a report on exactly what's happening with each one of these settings. What's happening with my networks? Is display turned off, partners turned off? What's happening with my location settings? What's happening with my broad match? And have you done some A/B testing on my landing pages to see, or to encourage people to make a conversion, to make a booking, or to inquire, or to make a lead? Guys, I hope you find that useful. If you did, you know the drill. Hit the subscribe button and let me know which one of these strategies have you used, or think that, hey, I'd like to check this to see if our Google Ads campaign have inadvertently or left these turned on. So what's been your experience, or what other things have you done to make sure your Google Ads is not draining your budget? What would be great is drop me a comment below and tell me, give me some feedback in terms of how your campaigns are performing and what measures you've taken. Again, if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments box below. If you want any help on your Google Ads campaign, reach out to us, and either myself or a member of my team will get in touch with you. If you want to learn more about Google Ads, click on this video here. It's a great in-depth video about Google Ads, and I'm sure you get tons and tons of value from it. I look forward to seeing you on another video. Goodbye for now.